My guess is you've been sitting around surfing the internet a little bit more than usual lately. Look, did you know that as the coronavirus worsens, hackers are working harder than ever to steal your personal information? Guys, are you sure your browsing history and identity are protected? I use NordVPN. I've been a customer long before they were a show sponsor. Their software allows me to safely browse the internet without being traced. NordVPN's encryption hides your location and encrypts all your data, whether you're sending it or receiving it. Try NordVPN risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is your last chance for a 3-year deal for just $349 per month. That's a savings of 70% you won't get from anyplace else. Plus, you'll still receive 1 month for free. Go to nordvpn.org/Sonnen or click in the link in the description for this special offer. I got a little bit of scoop. So I was talking to Ariel Helwani earlier today. ESPN Plus, Ariel and the Bad Guy. I assume you all check it out. If you don't, please do. But I'll tell you this. We were talking about George St-Pierre. And let's back up on a timeline. George St-Pierre comes out with the craziest idea ever, which is he's going to fight at 155 pounds against Khabib. Win the title right off in the sunset. Champ, champ, champ. In descending order. 170 to 85. Pass up 170. Leave 85. Go all the way down to 155. Okay, great. And then he starts doing test cuts. Then he's in the gym training like a madman. If you ever see St-Pierre, I mean, he still looks like he's carved out of stone. You hear all these reports from teammates and trainers about how hard George is working twice a day, every day, 6 days a week, takes 1 day off, exact same as when he was in training. You kind of go, what are you doing this for? He says, I'm doing this because I'm going to come fight Khabib. So a wrench gets thrown in that plan. Khabib says, yeah, I'm in. Bring it on. But a wrench gets thrown in that plan where Dana says, look, I'm not really in to what you did the first time, George, of going up to 85, taking my belt and riding off in the sunset. I'm not going to let you do it again. No conversation here. Okay. Well, that has all changed as soon as Khabib's come out and says, I'm going to do 2 more, and I would like the last one. I've already agreed to Gaethje, but I'd like the last one to be against St-Pierre. Well, everything's now changed. Because if Khabib's going to leave anyway, why can't the challenger leave? It sounds like we're going to have a vacated title. It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So now George's great idea is likely coming to fruition. The question is, hey, George, was this a scenario of be careful what you ask for because you just might get it, or are you sincere and you want to do the fight? And now it appears that George's feet are to the fire a little bit. Which brings me back to my point, is Ariel Helwani had shared with me that he called and asked George, hey, man, are you still on board with this? And I think it was a text, but George's response, whether he wrote it back or verbally said it back, his response was, and I quote, right when I think I'm getting out, they pull me back in. I'm taking that as a yes. I mean, he said a lot of words in that statement. Not one of them was no. It was his idea to begin with, and he has not said no. Do I have any other reasonable conclusion than yes? I do think that is a very interesting match, and if nothing else, we have something to talk about here. I mean, Khabib's got a reason now to try to beat Justin Gaethje, which is it might draw him to that fight. Everybody wants to fight George. Nobody retires and still gets called out, except George. Everybody, all the champions of the world, the best guys, the highest point of the mountain, still realize there's an asterisk, there's a question. Is the best fighter in the world just not licensed? Very unfair spot. How would you like that to happen to you? You're the world champion, but perception is you're the world champion unless he comes back. Not really fair. That's not how the game is played. It's an all-comers event. You raise your hand. If you did not come by raising your hand, you're not eligible for the discussion. And generally, that is true with one exception. George St-Pierre.